This week in our collective heads, wanna put an old rumor to bed. Stereotype that you've all heard, how we're all just angry video game nerds. Most of us have actual jobs, kids and families and cats and dogs, yeah. This week in our collective heads, this week in our collective heads.
Welcome to This Week on Our Collective Heads. I'm Patrick, joined as every week by Owen.
Hello!
We are hanging out, giving you the gaming news like we do every single week on YouTube and Facebook Live every single week, so you can hang out with us on Thursdays. Possibly moving that, but we are definitely doing a rebrand, so stay tuned for that. Hopefully next week. What do you think? Think we can do it?
I think we could do it.
I think we can.
Please look forward to it.
Yes, please be excited. We will we'll also announce it on, I'll announce more stuff on Twitter and Facebook, so you can follow us there and stay up to date, because we post a lot of smaller stuff there that's just cool stuff that we may not want to talk about too much, like a new trailer that came out, not spoiling any movies or anything, but like new video game announcements and stuff that maybe something quicker. So yeah, check us out on Twitter and Facebook. It's good stuff.
So I've been thinking about whether, or somebody suggested this to me and I just hadn't thought about it, of making like a Discord just for fun. I might do it. I already have it. I might have already made one. I have to see if I named it the right thing or not whenever I was initially thinking about it. So I might already have control of it. So we might do that too, where if you feel like joining the community, you just feel like talking about things, you can maybe do that.
I don't think that's a bad idea. I mean, I'll say that I don't know how often I'll be on it, but I'll try to be on it and at least given a way to hang out. Especially, I feel like Discord's a cooler way to hang out when you're just playing games and like chatting and stuff. Like, I feel like it's a better way to do it than just using Twitch's like interfaces and stuff like that. So I think
I like using it for that too, where if we are able to build the community out a little bit and get some action, like, and you're looking for friendly people to play with and things like that, it could be cool.
No, I think it'd be cool. Yeah, we should definitely make a Discord if we haven't already. We'll let you know about that as well with the rebrand next week.
Yeah.
Hopefully. So, and I think we should start off like we started off. We've been starting off this way. I know what you've been playing lately, and I've been playing a little bit of it as well. But how are you feeling about Final Fantasy VII?
On the Switch?
Yeah.
Honestly, I still, everybody knows how I feel about Final Fantasy VII at this point. It's better than 6. It's okay.
Greatest game ever. Yeah.
One of the greatest games ever.
Yeah.
On the Switch, it's great. I mean, I know that anybody who has a Vita already has experienced this, but honestly, the Switch's screen is bigger than the Vita. But there's something about the fact I just got out of Midgar again for probably the 1 millionth time. I just got to the Midgar Zolom.
I can't tell you how many times I've done that.
Yeah, just that part. Like,
just that part.
I've stopped playing right after I got out of Midgar so many times.
Same with Zelda and getting the very first the 3 stones. Yeah.
Yeah, getting the Master Sword and be like, I'm good.
It's fun.
So I got to the Midgar Zolom and I forgot what level I need to be to use my enemy skill materia to get. Yeah. Is it beta? I want to say it's beta.
I think it's beta.
And it turned out that I was not the right level for that. I need about 1,000 more HP to survive God mode just for fun. But it turns out with the way that God mode works, where if he manages to hit you for more HP than you have, the way that the God mode works is it just powers your HP back up. And it can't do that if you're, 1,000 back, so you actually die. So the God mode is not impenetrable, as I discovered. But the best thing is 3x speed.
Yeah, you were telling me about that, which I haven't messed with. How do you access that? I know that you can access it. Is it like Go ahead.
If you click left stick, that's 3x.
Yeah.
If you click the right stick, that's God mode. If you click both sticks, that's no encounters.
Gotcha. Okay.
Or no random encounters.
It popped up at the very beginning, and I was like, "Oh, that's really cool. I'm gonna keep playing the game." And I didn't go reference it again, but
yeah. So all the text, all regular battles, everything at 3x. Like your battles are so much faster. You get to run around. So every once in a while, I turn it back down if I need, a specific, like for the squat challenge in Sector 6.
Yeah.
I had to turn off the 3x for that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But who knows how? I'll keep playing for as long as I need to. I've beaten the game plenty of times already. It's more just I needed something that was familiar. And it was on handheld. Yeah. I didn't have to think about it. And who doesn't love being cloud?
I think I've only beaten it like once. I've gotten through Midgar countless times. And I've gotten to I guess what it would have been disc 3, where pretty much everything is opened up, and you can freely get around and race chocobos and everything. Like I've done that probably 3 or 4 times, but a lot of times I would just sit on that save file and then just like breed to get golden chocobos and then race them, and you get tons of money at the golden saucer. But
go get your Knights of the Round.
Yep, get the Knights of the Round, master it if you can.
Yeah. The only thing I've never done is I've never beaten Ruby Weapon.
I haven't either.
And I beat Emerald several times, but I've never beat Ruby.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I ever will. I don't care enough. But the part that I normally get to and stop, if I don't stop at Midgar, is I get to the date, and I always try to get it to be Barrett, but I always mess it up somewhere. I've even tried to because there's a trophy for it on PlayStation, and I've tried to follow the thing, and I still somehow messed up and got either Aeris or Tifa.
Well, I've been playing a little bit of Final Fantasy VII, but honestly, I've been playing more Sekiro again. I know, I talked about that last week, but
sure.
I came across the first boss in the world, which I'm gonna speed up just slightly here, so I captured my gameplay. And I have a little beef with this guy. I mean, not only is he ridiculously hard, but I think I told you about this. The bosses have a meter not only for their poise and their stance. That's the big guy right there with the giant sword. So you have to bring down their guard essentially, so you can deal a death blow, and that takes off one token, whatever you want to call it, one indicator. He has 2 indicators, but he's glitched out and healed himself, and it really irritates me. Where I'm like, I took the one death blow, and then I wait for. I try to get him down with the other one, and then he glitches and he heals. And it wasn't like a prompted thing where he drank a potion or something. So I was kind of irritated about that, and I haven't seen anybody else experience it. But I mean, he's ridiculously hard, and if you're ridiculously hard and you're cheaping me out, that kind of irritates me.
So did you say this guy's optional, or is just one of the bosses?
No, he's not optional. He's the first boss.
So you're still pretty early.
I'm still pretty early. This is the first boss that there's one of those purposeful. There's no real way to win this fight kind of bosses, and then the actual game starts, and this is the first guy. I found a way that you can cheese him to then backstab, because you can backstab him, but that only works for one of them. But eventually I'll get through him. I don't know if you wanted to segue into should games be easy here, because
that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, it was something that was that Push Square was posted on Push Square, and a lot of people have talked about this for quite a while, and saying, should games have an easy mode? Specifically about accessibility. If someone is, either if they have a disability, or as simple as my brother has at least one of his fingers that doesn't work as dexterous as it used to, because I think he broke it at one point. I can't remember, but I mean, we all have challenges like that. And should a game have an option for people who just want to, say, experience the story and not get good? What do you think?
I think that everybody's lying. First, not everybody. A lot of people are lying.
I think you're right.
Because you want to do it. Like there are some people. Again, I'm not saying everybody's lying. I don't want that to come off completely cold. But the reason that they're doing it is because they can't beat it, and they want to enjoy it, and they want to be a part of the zeitgeist, which is a big thing with a game like Sekiro and previous games, and a lot of From Software games, to be honest. That so many people say so many good things about, even though I don't. From an easy mode perspective on like a Souls thing, I don't. Correct me if I'm wrong. Like, yes, they have lore, but like. You're not playing like Sekiro's different, but you're not playing like Bloodborne stuff for the story, really, are you? Like, I've heard it's cool.
Yes and no.
Okay.
I think honestly, I like the story, but at the same time, they don't tell you the story. By the way, this is me trying to cheese the boss. By the way, but I don't think that and Sekiro is so story driven.
Yeah, Sekiro's different. Yeah,
it is. In Dark Souls and Bloodborne, like you get an idea of what's going on, and then you get thrown into the world, and there's some mystery about what's really going on.
Sure.
And you have to like read item descriptions to figure out like what really is happening. Like I'd say 75% of your lore is in item descriptions. So that being said, I don't think it has to do with. I think you're right. I don't think it has to do with the story. It does have a story. It does have lore, but I think it's more about the actual experience of playing the game. And the bosses, honestly, in my opinion, the bosses in Bloodborne and Souls, and I'll argue with people about this, but I don't think they're as important as the exploration and the regular encounters that are more like surprises. It's almost like it's not quite like a survival game, but you'll be going through something and then all of a sudden, someone attacks you out of the hidden, they were like hiding somewhere or whatever. You have to be really mindful of your surroundings. Yeah. I think that's more important in regards to exploration and unlocking shortcuts and that kind of thing than the boss battles. The boss battles can be cool, but that being said, if you take out the boss battles, I don't think the games are that hard.
Yeah. So should there be an easy mode? My thing, this again, you mentioned it was argued heatedly. My thing is does the company want to do one? I'm probably one of the more pro-business people, especially on this show, but just across the thing. Where does the game company want to do these? Am I just lagging? Is that my camera, dude?
I was gonna mention. I actually was just texting you like, it's getting fuzzy.
It's distracting.
Yeah.
I don't know what's up with my connection. I apologize.
No, I think you're right though. I think it's more about what does the developer actually want to make. There's so many developers making games right now that the way I view games, maybe it's my maturity, but I view games as like not every game is for everyone. I just got done playing, or not got done playing. I tried to review the Adventure Time game. And I was like, this really is just not jiving with me. Like, I get what they were doing, but it just was not my thing. Awful. You think it was awful? Okay.
I heard it was awful.
Yeah, I didn't like it. It was I felt like it was a mashup of a bunch of different things. It was like Mad Libs, a video game.
Yeah.
Because it was trying to like be Wind Waker, and it was also trying to be like a timed strategy game. And yeah, it was kind of like Brutal Legend, except Brutal Legend had like a cool idea, and then it just fell apart. I think that not every game is for everyone. I really liked playing Cuphead, and Whitney loves the art, but she thinks the game is stupid, ridiculously difficult. Yeah,
I'm the same way. It's not fun for me, but I accept that.
But that's what they went out to make the game for. This is art. Yeah. This is art.
And,
to me,
and that's where it comes down to. I get from a sales perspective. If I'm the businessman, if I'm in the business and I'm in charge of this company, I'd be like, oh, they want an easy mode in Sekiro? All right, boys. How can we make this easy? Because I want to sell 5 or 10 million more copies, or however many million I think I can sell from putting this easy mode in there.
Yeah.
That's me from the pro business. But if the artist doesn't want to do it, I'm not going to make them. I don't care. Like, I just accept that I am not ever going to play Sekiro.
Yeah, and I think that thankfully with Twitch and those kind of things, you can experience it through Twitch or through YouTube however you want to experience the story, and you don't have to get the frustration. There's another a great example of a company that was thinking, like, let's just include everybody. The Assassin's Creed Origins having the library mode, or whatever. Was it librarian mode or historian
it was
mode?
Something like that, yeah. And
Yeah.
they did it in Odyssey too, I believe.
Yeah, and saying, hey, let's like, no combat. Let's just go. You can go explore these areas and learn about it. Like, I'll say I've been playing UFC 3, and I put it on easy mode because I was just like, I want to see what happens. And easy mode was challenging to me. But like, Whitney plays all of her games on the easiest setting because she just wants to experience the story, and she wants a little bit of a challenge, but not too much. And I think that, to me, I think that's great that people put it in there, but I don't think it's needed. In fact, Sekiro, you can make it harder if you want.
Yeah, I've heard about the bell that you can find in Sekiro. It's funny with Cass. I'll be starting a game, and she's going to decide that she wants to watch me for a little while, and I'll be like going over the modes, and like for whenever I was playing Witcher 3 a couple weeks ago, and she always is like easy mode because she like Whitney, it sounds like, also easy modes it up, and whatever. The point is, are you having fun? And I'm with that with all games. If you're not having fun, don't play it. And so that's why I don't play Soulsborne games, is because I know I'm not going to have fun. I'm not going to play Cuphead either, because I know I'm not going to have fun. It's not to say that I don't like sometimes difficult games, like Celeste, for example, is a difficult game that I enjoyed quite a bit, but it was how they put in the difficulty, where if she died, I was instantly right back at that frame. That's what does it for me. Whereas like in a Soulsborne game where you die and you get thrown back there, I would get so upset.
Where the way that it backtracks you to your previous bonfire is ridiculous. Celeste is a great example of that, and Super Meat Boy is a great example of that as well, where it is very hard, but your reset time is immediate, and it's not going to take you that long to to get back to where you were. So yeah, we had some interesting gaming news this week. I would say there's a lot of things that's please be excited. And a lot of things I'm very excited about. Jedi Fallen Order. They had a little teaser tweet going on, and is it tomorrow? I thought it was Saturday. So they're going to be finally showing us some Jedi Fallen Order. What do you think? What do you want to see?
So, for those who didn't see it, Star Wars EA, or EA Star Wars on Twitter, post a little GIF of a little lightning-y image, and then actually today there was a poster leak as well, where they show like a fallen ship thingy, and there's your guy, like, I know that a few months ago I always keep trying to say that I'm gonna temper my expectations and stuff, but the second that I saw that GIF, I was in. Like, I don't know why. It's a stupid, like, it's just a freaking GIF, like, but I was instantly hyped, especially after how well Respawn did with Apex, and I'm like, yeah, I believe.
Yeah, and I think that I was gonna say I was trying to find a good image of the poster to put on here, but I couldn't find a good one.
Schreier's Twitter.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, I'm excited about it. I'm already excited about it, but to me, the I'm gonna feel it. Like, I'm not hyped yet. I'm ready. I'm ready to be hyped.
Okay, that's fair.
Because I love Star Wars.
Yeah.
And I feel like we're now getting. I feel like we had an awkward phase of after Disney bought out Star Wars and Lucasfilm and everything. We had this awkward phase of what Disney always does, which is kill off everything that is currently in development because it didn't start with Disney. They're kind of like Vince McMahon in that way, where they're like, they want you as a property, but they don't want anyone to acknowledge the fact that you were big before they had you, and now they're going to make you big. If anyone follows wrestling, they know what I'm talking about. But I'm I'm curious about the gameplay. I'm really curious about what it's going to be like, and
I like the tagline that they had on the tweet. Don't stand out. Like that, I think that was partly what did it for me too, where it was like, don't stand out. And so it really gives you like this thing, like, because for those of you who don't know, the basic premise that we know so far is that you're a Padawan after orders that escaped 66.
Mm-hmm.
And so it really gave me this like thing where it's like, oh man, is this gonna be like an underground game? Like, is it gonna be like a thing where you're trying not to use your powers, so they're not gonna make it too Jedi at first? Maybe it's something you grow into, but like, does that mean that like I got kind of like what's Dark Forces guy's name?
Kyle Katarn.
Yeah, I got a Kyle Katarn moment where I'm like, oh, am I going to start with a blaster? Oh, please give me a blaster. Give me the blaster and the lightsaber combo. Give me the Ezra from Star Wars Rebels where he carries both. Like,
yeah.
Obviously, this was from a three-word sentence. I wanted to contain my hype, but
sure,
I am nonetheless hyped because we're also getting episode 9 news this weekend as well.
Yeah. So I got a image of it, and I'm gonna play with it. I apologize, you're gonna see me playing with it live, but that is the leaked poster.
Like, look how dope that looks.
And it looks great to me. I wanted to just zoom in. That's what I was saying. Like, I didn't have time to really prep this, so you get to see me kind of zoom in just a little bit here, because I want to kind of zoom in on our main character, possibly main character with
like he's got a little droid.
That's what I was gonna say. That's someone's gonna smack me for not knowing what. That's a Victory class Star Destroyer, if I'm not mistaken. I may be wrong. Celebration's going on right now, so all the people that I know who would be mad at me for not knowing are doing other things. So, yeah. Either way, yeah, I like that. It doesn't tell me a lot, but it tells me enough. It also, in my opinion, harkens back to the what was the name? The Xbox 360 game. Xbox 360 game where you're a Jedi. Force Unleashed 2.
Force Unleashed and Force Unleashed 2.
Yeah, the beginning of Force Unleashed 2 where, like, I can't remember if it was the trailer or if it was, or what it was, where you took down, like, a Star Destroyer with the power of the Force. Like, it makes me, it kind of reminisces of that to me. So, I like.
Yeah. This poster's a dope poster.
Yeah, I'm ready to be excited about that. I'm very excited, though, about PlayStation name changes.
It's only been a decade.
As, I don't know, I'm sure viewers of the channel know, and listeners know, I created my PSN name because I didn't know how I wanted to do online gaming, and I basically wanted to create a single account for me and the wife together, so that way, like, if I bought something digitally, that she could play it, because I wasn't sure exactly how that'd work, and I didn't realize that I was stuck with it forever. Yeah, forever. But now they're gonna finally allow name changes. And now I have to figure out what I want to change it. Should I change it to, should I snag our new podcast name for, I don't know. I don't think I should, though. I think
the wife asked me if I was going to change mine. You never know if this show's going to last, you know. I want it to last forever.
Ooh, fighting words.
But you don't want to, I mean, unless you're just like that dedicated to it. But she asked me if I was going to change my name, and I made a joke that's like, no, I chose the name I wanted to begin with. But I understand that there's lots of people that aren't like that, and there's lots of people who have also been gamers since they were kids. And, you know, I remember one that was always brought up on a podcast that I used to listen to, where it wasn't even that bad of a name. It was just, you could tell, and the name was Bong Ripper 420.
Yep.
And you know that there's way worse ones than that. There's way nastier ones, like, and
mine's not bad.
I know you're fine. But they were obviously done by like some 12-year-old kid. Good for you guys. You get to change your name.
Yeah, like mine. Go. Yeah, Robert was just asking what it is. It's Wittrick 08, because it's my name and the wife's name like combined. And it was the year that we got married, and I was like, yeah, I'll just do that. And now I'm like, I've been stuck with this thing for 11 years or 10 years or like forever.
It's kind of cute.
And and now she has, like, she wanted to create her own profile, And I was like, oh, okay, well, you'll use, and I was like, well, you'll use mine if I buy anything digitally. But now PlayStation changed it so you can use it if I bought something and she plays it on our PlayStation, she can do that. So it's like, great, I did that for nothing. But
I honestly just let her use my name anyway, because there's been a couple of trophies and stuff where she wants to play a game that I'm not going to go through, and if she wants to give me free trophies, I don't care. Go for it, wife.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
You know, that's fine with me. But no, word lives on. The thing to watch out for with this is, if you are going to change your name, be aware that if you play old stuff, it could break them. In terms of online things, the reason why, if people don't know, is because they designed a system where your PSN is rooted. Like, whenever for example, people create screen names now, and so you have your email address and then you have a screen name. The root was your email address and your screen name's on top of that. But whenever you created the PSN, that PSN was the root. And that was why they couldn't change it, because that was literally like going through all the systems. So they made it to where after God of War came out, or right around when God of War came out, they started trying to integrate it to where they were making your PSN and not the root anymore. And that's why they're allowing it to change it, but it could affect things older than March of 2018. Gotcha. So just be aware, but honestly, new games are coming out. Move on with your life.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to kind of lump a couple things in here. I don't want to skip what we have up next. So we were talking about like online stuff, so I'm going to continue the online talkage. With Xbox Game Pass Ultimate being a combination of Xbox Live and Game Pass, $14.99 a month.
Was only a matter of time.
Heck of a deal. Yeah, exactly. It's only a matter of time. I know that this does not allow you to bargain hunt. I know a few people who buy PSN PlayStation Plus and Xbox Gold. They'll buy it when like it's on sale, like for a year. It'll be on sale for like the price of 8 or 9 months or so. So you don't get to bargain hunt in this case. But for $15 to have access to all of this stuff, like we talk about all the time, Game Pass allowing you to play all these games, games with gold, with Xbox is amazing. Being able to play online, $15 a month, that is not bad at all. I think it's great.
Yeah, this was, I mean, I was surprised that they didn't launch with this. I guess I get why they did it as a separate service, and I don't know if they're keeping it. I'm guessing they are, to where if you don't want Game Pass, you can still do one, or if you don't want to play online, you can still do Game Pass. I
think it's a smart reason to do it, because it'll actually make them more money in the long run. Yeah,
but $15 is a great price, because, I mean, if you think about it one way, you're essentially doing $5 for all the games with gold titles, and absolutely, like this is a slam dunk in my opinion. $15 for that many games that you're getting a chance to get a hold of.
I'm gonna get it. I mean, I have my games with gold. I want to say I've still got quite a bit left on that, but I may switch this over. I don't know if they have any discount on that, but I may get Game Pass for a bit, or coordinate when it renews. Coordinate that to be the bundle, which kind of segues into what I want to talk about. Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony are all under investigation for unfair online services, and really what this boils down to is the auto renew for these online services, because this is, I mean, it's not, to me, it's not that bad, except if you're doing like a year, which I actually had this happen to me before, where I had it set to automatically renew my Xbox games with gold, and then I forgot that it was going to renew, and it hits your bank account, and that's not fun when that happens.
They send you an email.
The question is, like, what was it? They're basically saying that they want to better understand these practices, and the auto renewal allowing more time before they charge you. I want to say the email comes in 30 days prior or something like that, but I have to double check and see do you? I would say you've got. Do you have Games with Gold or not Games with Gold? Do you have a
I obviously have
Gold?
PlayStation Plus.
You have PlayStation Plus, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't. Yeah, that's right. I don't remember how often, how recent the message is when it says, "Hey, we're gonna charge you." I want to say it's like a month out, but
let's see. From PlayStation in January. Hello, thank you for being a loyal member. We wanted to remind you, blah blah blah. Renewal date March 4th. So they let me know on January 17th that I would be getting renewed on March 4th. So about a month and a half.
Yeah, month and a half.
When I was reading this, I laughed.
Yeah.
There's companies out there that don't give you any notice. You know, I don't get a single email from Netflix that I'm about to be charged $7.90 or whatever I'm up to now, which they just raised their price.
I would have to create a filter immediately to get to throw those things in the trash. Like I know I'm charged for it. I know.
Now I get that it's different from a year perspective. Netflix is monthly, so you kind of expect like that monthly charge, but for a yearly charge, if you're paying for PlayStation or Games with Gold on a monthly basis, cut it out. Just go by a year. You can go on to what's that deals website? You can go on there right now and get a year for like $48 instead of $60. Just do it.
Slick deals. Slick deals and that kind of thing. Yeah.
I actually just learned about that website today. So
oh really?
Yeah, I'd never been on there. So I get the year perspective, but at the same time, you are. Do they send monthly, Robert? I didn't even know that. So they let you know. I just don't think that you should be coddling the consumer that much. If the consumer is agreeing to make a yearly automatic renewal, then that's their fault. If you don't want that, all you have to do, if you want it to hit you where you run out, go pay for your year and then go into the cancel thing. I do it all the time with streaming services where like I know I only want this so that I can watch this one show.
Yep.
On DC Universe, I only want to watch Young Justice.
Yep.
I went in, I purchased my month of DC, and I'm watching it. I watched my Young Justice, and then it's going to cancel out at the end of the month. Just do that.
Yep. Doom Patrol.
The thing that was super interesting that they mentioned that they're also investigating is how, for example, PlayStation recently changed their monthly games and how they went from having several to lately they've only had 2.
Yeah, so it used to be 6 because it was 2 PlayStation 4, 2 PlayStation 3, and 2 PS Vita at least. And a lot of those crossed over where it's like it ended up some months you were getting 4 PS4 games because the Vita games were also playable on PS4. Now we're down to 2 games per month. Compared, Xbox has stayed with their 4. Xbox is backwards compatible, so
that was actually the most interesting part of the investigation to me. Where the yearly thing, no, like they're giving you notice, or at least I know PlayStation is. I can't speak for Xbox, but is there something in the terms that say they owe you X amount of things? Like, are they doing this out of the kindness of their heart? Is it subject to change at any point? Or is there something where it's like, hey, I signed up for this during, and I signed up for it the day that I got my PS4. Is there something in my terms and conditions that says you should be giving me more free games? Because I'll be all over that. Go for it.
That's a good point. No, that's a good point. That's something. I may be one of the rare times that I really dig into and read everything in that end user agreement, but that may be something that's in there. I would guess that the legalese in there says something like any online services and any free games or something, where it's open enough where they're like, we gave you 2 and it's some free games. I think that's what I always looked at those as a kind of a bonus. Especially if you just have a PS4 and you either don't have a PS3 or you don't have it hooked up. Those games go into your catalog and you may or may not ever play them. That's why we do that. We do the Gold Plus Roundup for that, to actually tell you what's worth your time. But
shameless plug.
Yeah, I know. But to me, I'm like, you know what? Honestly, I hope that they will up things when it comes to the PlayStation 1. That's definitely something that is a point of discussion for PlayStation, though. You've literally cut your bonuses or your output by 1/3, and you're charging the same. You're pulling a Call of Duty where you're like, it used to cost me a lot of money to make a game, so I'm gonna make it for 1/3 of the price and charge you the same. That's right. I'm coming after you.
Is Call of Duty really making it for 1/3 of the price?
Well, yeah. So they had who was it? It was one of the game directors, and they were and I don't think it was Treyarch, but they were talking about how essentially the single player campaign was over 2/3 of the price to make a game. So they're like, that's a lot. So we're just going to cut out the single player. We're going to reduce it considerably.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, so you've reduced your cost and you're going to charge me the same. That's like if someone was like, hey, the new Volkswagen Jetta, we cut our cost by 2/3, but we're going to still charge you the same amount. I'm like, no.
And we're going to let you fail emissions test them.
Yeah, it's exactly right. Yeah. To me, that was like the dumbest thing when they said that openly, where they're like, it costs a lot of money to make a game, so we're going to spend less money to make the game, and we're going to charge you the same exact amount. And I thought that was completely stupid, because they didn't add that much multiplayer from the previous year or the year before.
Yeah, they just added the VR.
Oh, you mean, okay, so that interview was like 1.5 years, 2 years ago, so that's not counting the Battle Royale stuff.
World War II had a campaign. Black Ops 4 is, I believe, the first one that didn't.
Yeah, and Black Ops 4 didn't have one, and the last two before they took out the campaign were beatable in like 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah, and that's been the case for a while, though. I don't know. I'm not going to come after them. I don't care. Like, they understand. They can probably track like how many people are getting the single player trophies and and achievements, and show like, hey, nobody's actually playing this. We're not going to waste the money.
That's true. I still think that there is a market if you were just saying, how about $15 or $20 for the single player campaign, and then have a little pop-up in there. It's like, hey, you want to play some multiplayer? You can upgrade, and I'll click no.
That would be a cool thing if people started doing that as a norm.
Yeah, to give a game out for like $15-20, something like that, like a decent sized game, and then it's like, you want to play multiplayer? Here, unlock this. Because you've got people hooked at that point, and then their friends are like, dude, why aren't you playing online with me? I see you're online. I think it'd be really cool.
Especially in a world where a lot of indie games right now, they're better than a lot of the AAA experiences out there.
Yep.
Just saying.
They're better. They're varied.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about it. And now we're in a way where I would say 5 years ago, indie gaming wasn't, in my opinion, as accessible because you didn't know what was good and what was really worth your time. And now there's so many ways to find those indie games, find good indie games, that you don't have to wade through Reddit posts to find that indie game that you want. And it's not relegated to like really bad Steam games. Like, there's some good stuff on the Switch. There's some really good indie stuff on the Switch. I will say it's hard to navigate through it because there's
Switch eShop has quickly become trash.
Yeah, it really has.
Same thing with PSN. But if you want to hear about good games, you could always tune in on Facebook Live here at facebook.com/TWIOCH.
We do like to actually dive into those and see if there's some gems worth it. So I'm going to pick up something on Switch this upcoming week and try it out, and I'll let you guys know. I'll do the bargain hunt of something under $5 and see how it goes.
Okay. I'll take that. I'll go under 10 because
under 10. Okay.
Yeah, sometimes some of those under 5s on Switch, those could be a little rough. So I'll say $9.99.
Okay, that works.
And we'll
speaking of Switch,
next week.
Yeah, speaking of Switch, the rumors have come back about there being 2 SKUs for Nintendo Switch. What you think? Premium model, cheaper model, like essentially that's the idea, is them splitting, saying we can split this into 2 SKUs. What do you think?
Best. Do it. So this is part of our predictions. One of my predictions. I think you might have agreed with it too. But that we would get a new SKU. I don't think I said SKUs, but
you said new SKU. Yeah. I don't think you said 2
because I said a premium and keeping the original. But the rumor this time is that the cheaper SKU is aimed at those families where Nintendo at one point said they don't just want one Switch per household. They want multiple Switches per household. How do you do that? Well, we need a cheaper SKU, especially you look at some of these people that have the kiddos, and I'm about to have a kiddo. Not going to touch my Switch, not right now, because what if the kid drops it? What, and that can always happen. Robert knows. He's had some busted iPads this week. He knows all about the kids dropping things. They want to make a Switch, again, all rumor, targeted at those people who are like 3DS users, because the 3DS, you can say a lot about the internals and how dated they are, but that thing can take a beating. So imagine a cheaper Switch, handheld only. What if the Joy-Cons weren't even detachable? What about that?
That's actually what I was leaning towards. I was going to say no, removing that, because the price of the Joy-Cons, and I'm not talking about just like us to buy a Joy-Con, but the price to manufacture those, because of all the technology in there. If you make those undockable, or undetachable, if you do that, that's going to reduce the price considerably, and it's going to make it a more hardy console, which is not a bad idea in my opinion. I would probably buy something like that, depending on if it's the same processing power, because I don't undock mine very much because I have my Pro controller. So
whereas I play mine completely undocked.
No, I'm sorry. I meant I don't take off the Joy-Cons.
Okay.
Sorry, I meant sorry. I don't take off the Joy-Cons. I will play mine, like mine's sitting right here. It's been undocked. I've been playing Dark Souls and Tetris and stuff on it, and it's great. But I don't take them off very often. Actually the last 5 times I've had to take them off is when the Switch tells me, "Hey, your controllers have been detached," and they haven't. I think one of my Joy-Cons is going out.
The only time I have is if I dock it to play Mario Party or Smash with multiple people in the house. Otherwise, they stay attached all the time.
Robert said in the comments, Kindle Fire Theory.
Oh, that's the reason why I called him out. His kids broke his iPad Mini, and so he bought him a Kindle Fire because it was like $30 instead of buying a new iPad Mini.
Oh, okay.
And so the same sense. Reference along with, I want to get my kid a more indestructible Switch. Absolutely.
2DS. Dude, the 2DS was the coolest thing for that, where it's like, here's this giant Etch-a-Sketch looking thing. Yeah. And you can play your games on it.
You can throw it against the wall.
And it's going to be great. It's great for I would say, between 2 and 6 year olds that are going to do stupid stuff with it. And I guess even 7-year-olds and 8-year-olds might. But even me, I think I wore out one of my Joy-Cons in just pressure. So you can imagine some 7 or 8 year old kid raging in a game and twisting the Switch with all those components. Yeah, I think that's a problem.
And then to the other SKU, and that's this is the SKU that I did predict. One that has a little beefier hardware, not by much. You can't change much because then you can't put the game on everything. They've made that mistake before, and I'll call it a mistake. They may not say so.
The 3DS, new 3DS,
the new 3DS, where there were the games could only be played on that. That was dumb. So let's not do that, but let's make it to where you get maybe 1080, 60 frames consistently on the screen, and we get you a better battery and call it a day. I'll take that. I would still love, the dream is that we get a thing with bigger Joy-Cons, but I understand that that's definitely not going to happen. That's just what I want. But better battery, give that to me, because Final Fantasy VII, that's been killing that battery, yo. Any game really. I think I might be able to make it 3 hours. And sometimes, wife's going out on Saturday. She's got a bachelorette party to go to. I'm going to be kicking it on the couch. I'm going to go buy my $9.99 under game. I want a better battery. If you just give me those 2 things, I'll buy a new Switch.
No, I'll probably do the same, honestly. I like my Switch, but at the same time, if they have that upgraded model, I can get that upgraded Switch. I need to make sure that and figure out how cloud saves on Switch and make sure I can see how that works with having 2 of them. But yeah, like I would totally do that, and then I'd have an extra Switch for if we did do a Mario Party game or something like that where we needed more, or for the wife to play it, because while this is our Switch, like she still kind of views it as mine. So
yeah,
like,
right.
Well, now she has, because it's in my possession constantly. So yeah, I get it. Speaking of games coming on Switch, by the way, Hellblade coming to Switch, which
came out.
It came out. Sorry. I really love this game, and now I'm really happy that it came to Xbox, and now it's coming. Now it's on Switch, because it's a really great story. It's great graphics, great storytelling, and a decent price, because they didn't come out with this thing and charge $60. And to do that, I think is really cool. It was one of my favorite games to come out around that time, specifically because it was a good deal, you know, for $30. Was it $30? I think
$29.99. Yeah.
Yeah, that's totally worth it. This game is totally worth it for that.
I couldn't finish it because there's a color blind section that I cannot get past.
Oh, really?
I thought of asking the wife to do it for me, but that doesn't take away from the level of respect that I have for this game. If you play this game, do it with headphones.
Yeah.
Do not play the game without headphones. It's just not the same. You'll see what I mean instantly within the first few seconds of the game why you need to play with headphones. But really cool, really accessible, and also just the fact that, one, it started as a PlayStation exclusive. That's cool, like you just mentioned, but also it's a mature game on Switch. Like, I know Mortal Kombat's coming out, but there's not a whole lot of M-rated games on the old Switch there, and this is a good one. Really cool in terms of the story that tells, psychologically speaking. Really cool stuff. I wish that I could have finished it, but I could not get past that section.
Yeah, I hope that you do, just like to experience it. I mean, I'm glad that you respect it, with even though that part gave you trouble. I honestly don't remember that part, but
it's a weird like blending thing where you're her and she's having to pick out symbols out of.
Oh yeah.
I can't see the symbols.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that would be frustrating.
Yeah. Because I was like, what am I getting wrong in the symbols?
Yeah.
Like, so I'm red-green colorblind, and like they were like red symbols blending in with it.
Yeah.
And I just could not see them at all. Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't think I'm near as colorblind as you. Like, I'm a little colorblind, but not like every now and then I mix one up, but that I shouldn't.
No, on that one where if you look at the color test and you try and see the numbers, I can't see those numbers.
Yeah, I can see them on all. There's one that messes with me and I can barely make it out.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, I passed the test for a long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, not as bad as you, at least. I hope you get to do it at some point, but I will say this is one where normally when people say play with headphones, I've got a surround sound system, so usually I'm like, you peons. I've got my 5.1 surround sound system. I'm fine.
Sound bar, baby. I got the.
Well, I got my my center channel. I got my side channels. I got my back channels. I got my subwoofer. I'm considering going to 7.2 later on in the year. But this game with headphones, I actually started it again. After I realized what they were doing, I started again with headphones just to make sure it really isolated it to my head, because I could hear it with the surround sound and it was trippy. It freaked out the dogs, by the way, which I thought was kind of funny, kind of distracting, but it kind of freaked them out. Like, yeah. One game that's not going to come to Switch though is Days Gone.
No.
Apparently, it's pushing the limits of the PS4, which is further telling us we've already hit end of life with PS4, meaning we've hit the peak. We're now on the downswing. Now just a matter of time before a PS5 comes out. Similar to Last of Us. Last of Us was really doing this on the PS3.
Yeah.
And man, I want to play this, but I just don't know if I'm gonna have time.
I got it pre-ordered. It'll be preloaded. But it's all Sony. All of my Sony first-party studio games, if I can, I do get them. So it'll be preloaded and ready to go. This honestly made me a little bit more excited. So that's why I put it on here. Was just They said that they are taxing the PlayStation as much as they can without setting it on fire, was the joke that they made. Because if you've seen in the previews, the amount of freakers, which is the zombies in this case, the amount of freakers in groups that you see, they basically try to put as many that are actually there, not just like background image things that don't interact with, but like the groups, the hordes of zombies, they are actually in the game. And so the processing power behind those, and then the way that they had to program it, which was cool to read about, was that some of the big sections of the freakers, they have like kind of like a horde collective type thing. Like that's how they're able to manipulate it and put all of them on screen as they kind of act with is it autonomy? No, autonomy is not the right word. I'll stick with collective. That works. Sure. They're like ants. They follow the queen basically, but then they said on top of that they wanted to make sure that there was also freakers that could act independently of that horde, and that is making it super hard on the PlayStation. So I just thought that was really cool, and that's why I included that in there, is that a company is trying to basically use all of the hardware, which, like you just mentioned with Last of Us, like that's a thing that made Last of Us stand out on the PS3, is that it was really pushing that hardware. So to hear one of Sony's companies saying, "Hey, we're gonna really push the PlayStation to its max," that makes me excited. That I don't know. I'm sometimes iffy on zombie games, so I don't know how much I'm gonna like it. But that they're trying, that they really want to use everything the PlayStation has to bring it, especially after it took them so long to make this game.
Yeah. No, I agree. I love zombie games. I got really jaded to them because, not to be hipster about it, but like I've been into zombies like since I was in middle school, and
I thought you were gonna say since before they were cool.
No. But like that's why I'm on the verge of saying that. But like I've been a fan of like OG Night of the Living Dead, Day of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead, like amazing movies. And I was one of those snobby people where I'm like, Return of the Dead's like not that great. And then zombies were everywhere, and then you started seeing a lot of crappy, I don't know, cash-ins, I should say. Yeah, and like it just got really. I think the world's become jaded to those. I mean, the Walking Dead ratings can tell you that it's in the toilet, and they're trying to come out with 2 more Walking Dead series for after
movies too. TV movies. That's how they're gonna bring Rick Grimes back, as a TV movie.
Yeah, anything to try to get people to watch again. Anything to try to people to watch again, because no one's watching that. So.
Yeah, I don't know, but I'm excited for Bend. I'm excited for a spring game. I'll be in 2 weeks. This is one of the first party games that I only bought digitally, because I was just like, I don't need this one on my shelf unless it somehow turns out to be amazing. And like Robert said, he'll just wait for the remastered version on PS5, which is probably not a bad call, because that's where I played Last of Us the first time.
Yeah. Oh, it's I bought it on both, but it's so much better on PlayStation 4.
Yeah,
it's a great mic drop. Well, thank you guys for tuning into the gaming news. Let us know what you thought about this week's gaming news and what some of your favorite things were, and we'll catch you next week.
Thanks for watching This Week in Our Collective Heads. Subscribe over here and click the bell, and that way you'll know about any new videos that we put up, because we put up a lot of gameplay, a lot of stories from games and stuff like that, and gameplay is down here.
Yeah, and you got more editorials and news stuff down here. Check it out.